Hey, what's up everybody? The first selection box is here for the month of February, and in this video, I'm going to go over all of the Tsums that's available and share with you which ones are worth getting and which ones are not. I'll also let you know which ones are my top 3, so let's get into it. This event is scheduled to start on February the 7th and will run until February 11th. The 12 Tsums include Dark Fairy Maleficent, Stylish Cruella, Witch Ursula, Monsters University Randy, Angry Hades, Dr. Facilier, Jafar Genie, Monstro, Yzma, Captain Hook, Queen of Hearts, and Pete. Now overall, the selection box is pretty good. Most of the Tsums in here are decent to pretty good for coin earnings. However, none of them are particularly any good for missions. Now before I go any further, if you like this type of content where I review Tsums, do monthly leaks, go over the selection boxes, and the pickup capsules, please consider subscribing to this channel. Your subscription really helps me out a lot. I also have a Discord server, so if you need help with the game and want to chat with other players like yourself, consider scanning the QR code on the screen or using the link down below in the comment section to join the Discord server. Alright, so let's go over my top 3 picks. In the number 3 slot, I have Monstro. Initially, I was pretty surprised at how good Monstro really is to earn coins. It's a very simple Tsum to use and is very beginner friendly. Monstro has a vertical clear and that just bursts the center area, so it's very effective and has a relatively low charge up, so you could definitely expect a lot of abilities activated per game. The strategy is really simple. All you really need to do is just make sure the entire screen has a lot of Tsums before you activate the ability. You want to avoid any gaps. But if you watch this particular gameplay here, I didn't play a perfect game and I didn't use that strategy really all the time, and I was still able to earn a relatively decent amount of coins. At the end of this gameplay, I ended up with 4,649. Now I think if you really follow the strategy that I just mentioned to you, you'll be able to hit the 5,000 marker, so give that a try and see if you're able to get 5,000 or more. And also I found that Monstro for some reason generates a lot of big Tsums on the screen as well. I don't know if I got lucky with the gameplay or if that's just how Monstros work. So if you have one of those missions where you need to make a lot of big Tsums per game, give Monstro a try. Maybe you could clear the mission with Monstro. And then coming in second place, I have Witch Ursula. Very similar reasons as to why Monstro was in number 3 is that Witch Ursula is a very easy Tsum to use and earns a relatively good amount of coins per game. Witch Ursula is also very beginner friendly, and the strategy is relatively simple as well. It's probably easier than Monstro. All you really need to do is spam the skill button, and what I mean by spamming is just keep pressing the ability button, especially when it's almost fully charged, and you don't need to set up the screen like you do for Monstro. Because during the ability time the screen doesn't freeze or anything like that, you can essentially activate the ability as soon as possible. However, one thing you need to know though, there is a factor of luck that goes into it. During the ability time, you'll notice that Witch Ursula will bring out the trident and zaps the Tsums on the screen. Sometimes it's 3 bursts, sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 5. That is completely random. I've noticed that there's really no factor that plays into it. So because of that, sometimes you may have games that earns more than others. Alright, now in the number 1 spot, that's going to be Dark Fairy Maleficent. All of the Maleficents in this game are generally pretty good at earning coins, but you will need to be able to clear a lot of Tsums per game and play relatively fast. The strategy to using Dark Fairy Maleficent essentially is just create long chains if you can, and save a bubble on the screen to burst them whenever you need to clear Tsums faster. Her ability is going to clear surrounding Tsums, so even if you can only make short chains of 3s, that's already sufficient because in reality that's going to be 9 or 10 because it's bursting surrounding Tsums. And if you factor in that you can make time bubbles with that, it might even be more strategic to clear chains of 3s versus longer chains. With more time bubbles, you may extend your gameplay. Now if you're watching this gameplay, it's not necessarily that simple, so Dark Fairy Maleficent is not the greatest for beginners or for players that don't play that fast. So if you don't play fast and need a pretty good coin earner, in this selection box you may opt for Witch Ursula. Now at the beginning of this video, I mentioned that this selection box is pretty average to good, and that's because there are other Tsums in here that's worth mentioning that didn't make the top 3. For example, Stylish Cruella, at the end of the gameplay for this video, I ended up with 4,464 coins, and very similarly, Angry Hades is another one. I got 4,127 coins. So there's a lot of Tsums in here that will break the 4,000 marker, and that is pretty good for a selection box. Almost half of the Tsums that's available is going to be either breaking the 4,000 marker or pretty close to it. So for that, I would say this selection box is worth investing in if you want to get a Tsum that earns a lot of coins. So that's my review for this first selection box in February 2024. I will also have gameplays for all 12 of the Tsums that's available in this selection box, so if you want to check those out, I'm going to link them in the comments below, or you can just use the timeline and scroll ahead to the Tsum that you're looking for. And if you would like to see more Tsum Tsum content just like this, don't forget to subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for watching.